fashion dolls, and we're back. Ooh, get into the lighting. Come on, golden chocolate skin, and we're back with very special guest, actress and writer Brandi James. She joins me. I hope you all can see me. Can you guys hear me? My other phone was doing some things. It was not allowing me to see her, but let me send this live back to her so that we can get her in here. Let me search through right here. Boom. And there we are. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Tywayne. Welcome. Hi, Fashion Dolls. Get into that golden skin and that sun-kissed hair color. Yes. I'm loving this new look. A very special thank you to Melanie and Alamai Bridges for making sure that I'm right each and every single day. I wanted something for the fall, and this is it. Here she is. A very special shout out also to Ina Harrelson, who will be coming back on the show sometime next year. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. While we're waiting on Brandi, let me see if she's here. Is she here? No, she's not here yet. I just sent her the live, so hopefully she will be joining me back. I'm going to send it to her again so that we can dive into this conversation. Did you guys see the big announcement? My co-host EJ is coming back. He will be back this Saturday, November 15th, for a very special episode of Style by Stevie. It seems like the working is nonstop. Now's the time. Will be joining me back next week also for our political and charged conversation. So hopefully it works this time. I had to change my phones. But get into this golden sun-kissed skin. Yes, ma'am, honey. Ooh.
Hopefully that worked.
Now I can see you and hear you. Hello, beautiful.
Hi, beautiful. How are you, Stevie?
I am doing wonderful. It is such a pleasure to have you here.
Likewise. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. So before we kick off this interview, how has 2025 been for you so far, girl?
It's been good. It's been good. My life changed a lot. I'm still figuring out if that's for the better. But for the most part, no complaints. I honestly can say that the last maybe 3 years have been amazing.
And as a black woman, because we're both black women, how are you protecting your peace, my sister? Because it is imperative in these times that black women find ways and means of self-care and protect our peace. So what do you do to unwind and protect your peace, Brandi?
I am much better at choosing the type of people that I bring into my life. I've always kind of been a loner, but yet a free spirit. Those are two different things, and you wouldn't think that they would clash and one person could have those two personality traits. But for me, it's the truth. In one instance, I'm a social butterfly, but then in another instance, it's like, okay, let me retract. I got to release myself behind closed doors and get it out. So I read a lot. I always have read a lot. I study human behavior. That's one of my favorite things. That helps me to learn why certain situations in life happen. And because I think that I tend to be naive. And once I realized that something took place negatively in my life, I have to figure out why did that happen and what part I played in that. So I do a lot of soul searching. I do a lot of researching when it comes to neuroscience and the brain and psychology and understanding the world around me because it helps me understand where I stand in life and in people's spaces. So I retreat to my bedroom and I lock the door and I mind my own business. I don't have a big circle of friends, so I'm not drained in that way. But I just tend to hibernate, sit back, relax, sit in my room, read, study, and make it better. It's like a band-aid, a self band-aid that I have for myself, I guess you could say.
Absolutely. And I think during these times with everything that's going on in the world, that we as African American women reclaim our power. And a lot of women that I've sat with here on this platform say, hey, I'm going to set some boundaries here and I'm going to step back.
Hmm.
I'm going to put me first because we're
Oh,
always giving and giving so much of ourselves, especially being in the entertainment business. So it's
hmm,
like, where who's going to pour back into me if I can't pour back into that person?
hmm. Yeah, I am a giver. I'm not one of the type of people that is always looking for a gift or to receive anything. The scales are completely uneven when it comes to being a giver or a receiver. I am more of a giver. However, when I do receive anything from anyone, I do tend to want to pay them back, even if they don't want that.
It's
You
natural instinct. It's natural
hmm.
instinct in us. And we learned that and inherit that from our moms. My mother is the same way. She's a Libra. And I don't know what it is, not to bring zodiac signs into it, but it's just natural nurturing instinct. Like my mom, I would do things for her. She was like, "You don't even have to do that for me. That's out of the goodness of our heart, and that's
Hmm.
what makes us human and so divine in each and every way, in every aspect. Is that we are always helping people. That and just as a collective, as Black people, that's what we've been taught. We help our neighbor out
That's
whenever we
right.
see somebody down, especially family. We help family out, so that's been the key thing, is helping people out.
Absolutely. I mean, just think about the Underground Railroad coming back. You're risking your life for other people that you know are suffering. It's just the blueprint of who we are and what we are, you know? So if I see something going on and I can make a change, I'm going to do it without a question.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's get into your journey, Miss Brandy. Now, you
Oh,
began at just 8 years old, girl, acting.
I did. I did. I did.
Who were some
Um,
of, because we talk about inspiration a lot here on my show and platform. Uh, who were some of the women that you saw on television growing up that were an inspiration to you? And I know for me, one was Diane Carroll, another
oh,
was Pam
yeah.
Grier, another was Tashina Arnold, Pam and
Mhm.
Martin. Another was Erica Alexander, Living Single. She was Max on Living Single. Another
Yes.
was Grace Jones, Lynn Whitfield. It was
Okay.
so many.
Oh, yes.
So
Oh, gosh. I got stories.
for you, who
Okay.
were the women that you saw growing up?
It was okay. So, Punky Brewster. It was
Oh,
Cherry. That
yeah.
from the very beginning. Cherry. I thought she was just so adorable. And I remember we were all around the same age. And I loved her and Punky's relationship. And I grew up in diversity. So me only honing in on Black women wasn't a thing. It was a everything. So I didn't just focus on Black women, but I do remember falling in love with Cheryl Lee Ralph on It's a Living.
Oh,
That's the very first person I can remember me saying, "Yep, that's me. That's me." The only thing I didn't have was the dimples. I had the long hair, I had the dark skin, and the pretty smile. So I knew that I could be Cheryl Lee Ralph. I knew it, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. Um, so it was Cherry Johnson. It was um, Shirley Ralph. I remember the premiere of the Josephine Baker story on HBO, and Lynn
oh,
Whitfield rocked it out. And I mean, I can remember magazines coming home with her with the banana skirt on, because
yeah.
that was controversial, even for Josephine's day. But she was an artist. She was an art. That is art. And she got up there and danced her butt off. And I'm talking about, I never forgot it. I never forgot it. Let me see, who else was it? I can remember, let me see, because my day, well, again, it was a little different. Rap was still fairly new, and I started seeing. I remember my father coming home playing Salt and Pepper, and the outfits were just amazing. So around that time, that was in 90, 92, something like that. I started rapping. And it was because of Salt and Pepper. It was because of Queen Latifah. And
Oh
I'm trying
yeah.
to think, Moni Love. It was oh my God, Smiley. Smiley is a local rapper here. So I had those black women to look up to. And Boss. I will never forget
Oh yeah.
Boss.
Rest in grace.
Yes. And these women were talented. They were very talented. So I was able to get the mixture of acting and rapping in my years, in my journey when I was growing up. So I just remember I would be up watching TV. I can just, oh gosh. I remember it was the woman, what's her name? Diane. She played Fred Sanford's girlfriend in Sanford and Son, and she was just so beautiful and so classy to me. And I remember her. I remember her. I
Oh,
don't. If you can, I can't. Her name is Diane, but I can't remember her last name. But I just remember her being so classy, so soft spoken, and just so beautiful. And so these are the women that I saw growing up. You know, you said Grace Jones. All I remember about Grace Jones is she was a force to be reckoned with. She was, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I will never forget the girl who didn't want to transform into her on America's Next Top Model. And it was so baffling. Like, do you know who Grace Jones is, what she represents? But some people can't get past certain things. And it's just so unfortunate. But Grace Jones is that girl.
fierce,
Fierce.
unapologetic, beautiful, bold. The first time I laid eyes on her
Mm-hmm.
was in James Bond's View to a Kill. And my
Ooh.
father showed me that movie because my father is a big action head. Him and my
Okay.
brother, they love sports and they're big action heads. And he showed me that movie. And she came out and she had on this Izadine Alaya. She was notorious for wearing her hoods.
Yes.
and in the
Yes.
80s, it was all about the drama, the over the top shoulder padding. She came
Bad.
out this beautiful, tall, majestic
Yes.
queen. Like, who is she? And she
Yep.
had the box top cut.
Yep.
Oh my God. Who
Yes.
is she? I wanted to
Yes.
know. Daddy, who is she? And I
Yeah.
went and I did my research and I seen her in commercials for Revlon and I
Mm-hmm.
seen her in
Mm-hmm.
the Ebony Fashion Fair. She was everywhere. And then
She
to see
was.
her in Boomerang with Robin Givens, Tisha Campbell, Eddie Murphy, she took it to a whole nother level
She
and then
sure
just
did.
made it up her own. Especially her own stage performances. She's so humorous. She's so funny. People think that
Yeah.
she's like her characters, but when you see her, because she has a very strong presence about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she hit that guy in that interview.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the guy was like, no, she told him, don't turn your back on me. Don't turn your
Mm-hmm.
back. But one thing I can say about her is that she did not let labels as far as fashion or anything
Mm-hmm.
confine her. She went to the beat of her own drum. And as Pure
That's
Lux
right.
Salon said this in the comments, she walked so that Tiana could run.
Mm-hmm.
And not just Tiana Taylor, but Rihanna as well, too. If you think of Tiana Taylor and Rihanna, these are both also unapologetic women for their style, for their fashion. And I'm a big
Absolutely.
Brandi and me are both fashion girls
Absolutely.
here. So we know
Absolutely.
that Grace Jones did not care. I mean, the picture of her in the leather, not leather, but like a leopard print leotard, and she's
Okay.
laid out on the chair. A supermodel recreated that for Halloween this year, and it was
Is that
Alton
what that was?
Mason.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah,
I didn't know
did it.
that that's what that was. Okay.
Yes, he did it. And I was
Okay.
like, go ahead now.
That's some bad stuff. And I mean, now that you speak of models, that's another thing because again, I come from the generation where we saw more white people on TV versus black
Yeah.
people. So models were a thing. I can remember Naomi Campbell being very special to
Oh,
me.
girl.
And I remember when acrylic nails became the thing. So I came home one day and I had my nails done and stuff. And my mother was like, I don't know why you got your nails that long. Models don't wear their nails that long. And I was like, "Ugh." Oh, okay. And I never did that. I never did it again because once I started paying attention to how these models would represent themselves and pay and their look, I would copy that. I would, implement that into whatever routine it is that I had. Even with makeup, heavy makeup is really for television. It's just for, interviews, stuff like this. You don't walk around every day with a heavy face full of makeup. I mean, you shouldn't, and I don't know if I should say should. No, you don't have to. It really, because if that's your everyday thing, when are you going to be extravagant? If you're extravagant every day, I mean, you can be, you can, but I don't think every day you have to just pack it on. I don't think so, and that's just my opinion.
And not every woman, not all women, we're not a monolith. And as yes, her dramatic makeup looks, because the 80s was all about the over the top shenanigans. I mean, you could go as bold and as bright as you wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
And my guest that I
Mm-hmm.
had on yesterday, he asked me, Dante, he asked me a question because we went into a game on fashion and history. And he
Mm-hmm.
asked me this question. He said, would you wear neon colors all year long, or would you prefer black and white? I said, baby, I would live my life in neon.
Yeah.
I love neon. I love bright colors. I love
Okay.
the theatrics of it. And that's what fashion and beauty is about, going outside of your norms. Another
Mm-hmm.
trend, since we're talking about beauty trends, was
Mm-hmm.
when I saw Beyonce with the bleached eyebrows in the Run the World video. And then I decided to
Wow.
copy that in my high school years. I said, this is very couture. This is a little
And
different
that's
here.
what.
And I
Yeah, but
remember
you
I
can't.
started,
I mean, but would you wear it every day? It's just for
not
what it's
every day.
for.
Yeah.
Right. It's exactly what it's for. And it did what it needed to do. It made you look. It made you say, well, ooh, ooh,
It's different.
okay. It's different. Yeah. I remember that picture.
And with beauty, you have to dare to be different. You have to try different things. Like,
You
we love
do.
experimenting with different hair colors. And Brandi, you know this
Hmm.
as an actress, because you always have to change your hair for a role.
Yeah.
And who was it? I think it was Regina King or either Gabrielle Union, one of the two. And they was like, no, no, I'm not going to damage my hair to do this for a role. Even Chris Style from the Players Club. She played Ronnie in the Players Club.
Yeah.
Ice Cube wanted to dye her hair. Here's a backstory. In one of her interviews, Ice Cube wanted to dye her hair platinum blonde, that color that Ronnie wore. And she was like,
Okay.
no, we're not going to do that.
Hmm.
Because we know as black women what that will do to our hair. It will damage
It's
it
gonna break it
severely,
off.
especially. And even with the upkeep of it, it takes a lot of money with having to go in and out of to the salon to make sure you get it conditioned, make sure you get it treated, and all of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
that's
true.
when extensions came into play. You know, we could play
Exactly.
with weed,
I was
everything.
around for
So yeah.
that. I was around for when weave became available. There was no such thing as yaki. It was only straight hair. That was it.
Yep.
And then a few years later, they had Yaki. And then the Yaki was so thick and unrealistic that people didn't really mess with it. And then some more time passed. And then you would see different brands, different versions of the Silky, and different versions of the Yaki. So you could only get the Yaki or the Silky. That's what it was called. And then I can remember they started doing what is it? What do they call highlights? So some of the hair
Oh
would
yeah.
have highlights in it, but it was only a cinnamon color, maybe a cinnamon blonde, something like that. And then all of a sudden, boom, it just went crazy. It went crazy stuff, different brands, different this, different that. Then you had Vivica with a brand. Then you had Brandi with a brand. Then you had all these Ultra and Empire. Like it really just started getting better and better. And then next thing you know, a bundle was 120, 130, 200, 3. It's insane. Then you got any color you can think of. None of those things were available at that time. They just weren't. You got talked about if you wore weave. Like even braiding hair, you would get talked about in school. So school was a nightmare for me
Okay.
because I was able to wear weave. My mother would let me wear weave, and I also would get braids at times. Always made fun of me. That was not a thing back then.
But again, with beauty, you dare to step out on faith and try certain trends, and it
Yeah.
makes people
Yeah.
make fun of you, or people are like, "Okay, what is this?" And then people
Yeah.
get along on the trend. Like at
Yeah.
that time, the in the 90s, weaves were a thing. People did wear their real hair, yes, but the
Hmm.
upkeep. And who was it? It was Kim Fields, and you guys
Okay.
remember Kim Fields,
Oh
Tootie
yeah.
on,
Tootie.
yes,
Yes.
Tootie. She
Tootie.
said on Living Single, I'm not about to damage my real hair because all of the time you would have to use a curling iron.
Well,
And we
she
know
changed
what that's like,
wigs.
especially if you don't have a thermoprotectant spray and you're
Hmm.
having to go in constantly. Gabrielle Union said her hair broke off in
Yeah.
one of the show films that she was doing. And this is when we see actresses like Regina King and so many others speaking up and saying, we need to have somebody on set here that knows how to work
Or
with
do
African
this.
American hair because
Absolutely.
our hair is not like their hair. Our hair is a different breed. You're
Absolutely.
going to have one girl that's going to have 4C hair. You're going to have one girl that's going to have 4A hair. Queen Latifah on Living Single, she wore a relaxer all of these years.
Right.
Now she just, I think, gets it silk pressed. She said, my hair is a little
Okay.
bit more tolerant. And she said, I got a
Okay.
rap album out, just like you. She was a rapper as well, too, like you mentioned,
Hmm.
Queen Latifah. And I'm on this hit show, and she's like, I'm not about to keep losing my edges or breaking my hair. And I know with black women, our edges, our baby hairs,
Oh,
that is a
yeah.
thing. She says, I'm not about to damage my hair just to give y'all what y'all want. So I'm going to go
Hmm.
ahead and get this silk press, get this hair because my hair is a little bit more tolerant to it. And that's when
Hmm.
people started getting it silk press, and you can get the same effect as you have for a
With the
relaxer.
perm. Hmm. That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. That's very true. That's true. I remember hearing about the silk press thing, and I could tell that the texture was so different when people would get it done. And that's funny when you told me about the beauty products. I was thinking like, oh my gosh, should I talk about these titanium flat irons? But yes, they were titanium flat irons, and I didn't know what that was. I was like, these beauty trends, they change drastically all the time. I'm a pressing comb baby. So I believe in the pressing combs and the curling irons that go on top of the stove or whatnot.
Yep.
That's the Marcells. That's where I come from. So
Same
I,
here,
I
girl.
yeah, and I couldn't understand. I'm like, you're getting the same outcome with the Marcells that you would get with the titanium flat iron. So why not use the Marcells? But again, the times have changed. They don't want to do it that way. They just want to plug it up and do it. But you spend so much money on those flat irons. But it's just the way of the world.
And like you said, what beauty times have changed. I'm sitting next to my electric rollers over here, the hot
Oh
rollers
yeah.
that you can use.
Yeah.
So you can use
Yeah.
those. I've got the curling wand.
Yeah.
And you said with the back in the day, what was it? Before we got PCJ and the relaxer I use just for
Yep.
me.
Hmm.
Our grandmothers and our mothers would always be like, okay, now it's time
Pressing.
bend down. Let me get the
Yep.
kitchen. Let me get the blue
Pressing.
magic and the
Yep.
pressing comb for that
Yep.
Easter press for church. So I
Yep.
mean, that's what it was like. We didn't have
It
that until
was.
relaxers came into the scene. But
Hmm.
our hair, and do not get close to water. Black women, and you just got a relaxer or a silk press. Water is not your best
Your
friend,
friend. It sure
or
isn't.
sweat, because it will
No.
poof up.
I remember when we would go swimming, I don't even think they make these caps anymore. The cap was gosh, I'm trying to see if I can find a they don't that material. I don't know if you remember it. It was like a latex. It was a thick latex. So the cap might have been about that thick.
I
And you
remember. Ooh.
put that bad boy on, but you had to hold it close and pull it down and pop. Let that thing like kind of suction down here. Water was still getting that thing. Like it, no matter what you did. But that was what I remember. Those caps were what we had to use after we got our hair done or after we got it pressed or something. That's what we had available.
And now we have to use bonnets. We have to
Yep.
use
Yep.
satin pillowcases. The bonnets have went up a size. They've got these
I
enormous
know.
bonnets. And I'm
I
like,
know.
what are these for? And my mom and me, because we are two different. We love two different type of styles. My mom likes braids. I like it like the
Okay.
Beyonce, like the Jennifer
Okay.
Lopez, the big voluminous Farrah Fawcett look, shall I say?
Oh yeah,
And
my favorite.
my mom, I was asking my mom a question. I said, "Mama, why are these bonnets so big?" We went into a beauty supply store, and I'm used to the traditional size bonnet, but it's for hair
Hmm.
like I'm wearing today, or like Brandy's hair. If it's long, if your hair is longer,
Hmm.
you can just
Hmm.
put it in the bonnet, and then it will fall down in the morning like a
Right in the morning.
waterfall.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
beautiful. It's
I
beautiful.
remember.
Now I get it. So I'm
Yeah,
like, these
yeah.
massive bonnets, they look like chef hats
But that's
first.
not what it's for. All of these locks.
Yes.
You're
And
just
for the
like
fellas,
me.
we can't forget the fellas. Fellas have their lock socks too. We wear our bonnets and
Hmm.
the men in our lives, if they have locks or dreadlocks or whatever,
They
my
wear
brother
it.
has dreadlocks, they will put their lock sock on. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Isn't that something? Things have really changed. They really have. And I admit I was slow to adapt. Very slow. I'm just getting to the point where I'm accepting a lot of this new stuff. Like I'm like, okay, all right, I get it now. Okay, if that's what it is, then because I was really pushing back, like, no, that's not how you do that. You do it this way. No, they got new ways of doing things. I guess that's when it's more than one way to skin a cat.
And even on TikTok, I'm like, y'all are creating these new beauty trends as well. There's one beauty trend where you can put the makeup in like this little plastic thing, and then you put it on your face. You smear it on with the brush, and then your face is complete. I'm like, all of these beauty
What?
trends that y'all are creating on TikTok. Tamron Hall did
Wow.
it on her show where they were putting the makeup inside like this little plastic, like saran wrap almost. And you had your
Okay.
foundation, your blush, and this, and you apply it on the face, and you use like a makeup applicator brush, and
Hmm.
you put it on, and then you go. I'm like, where did y'all come up with this?
And it worked. It
It works. I grew up
wow.
with flat tops for black men. We out here in the 80s and 90s. Yes. When I think of a flat top, I think of either Kid and Play or
Yeah.
Big Daddy Kane
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Bobby
That's
Brown
what I
because they
remember.
had that
Yep.
the Gumby cut, that
The
box
Gumby.
top cut.
Yep.
Yes.
Sure did. Sure did. Every little step. Yep.
Oh my goodness. And
I
it's so
remember.
different but a lot of these trends, believe it or not, the 80s, the 90s, they're coming back and they're reinventing them and naming it something else. So it's like history repeats itself. Like
Itself.
Brandy said,
Yeah.
their style, the asymmetrical cut.
That is
What female rapper did I
that
see
was salt
wear
and
a
pepper.
haircut
Salt and pepper.
almost similar? Missy
It was
Elliott had an asymmetrical cut. It was like short. She would have a long piece here, and then the rest would be short. So I mean, invention. It's all about reinventing yourself. And being an artist in this business, you have to reinvent
absolutely.
yourself. And
That's
for
true.
me, another example of a black woman that reinvents herself would be Mary J. Blige, who was one of my ultimate style inspirations. Like the My Life album,
Absolutely.
that haircut, when she cut her hair, she had like the shag cut, and then Tony Braxton had it as well too. And I'm like, okay,
It
I want to
was
try this.
sharp. Hmm. It was sharp. That was a big deal. I remember that. I'll never forget that. When Tony
And Mary
Braxton
wore
burst on the
weaves
scene.
too.
Who was it?
Mary wore weaves too. I said Mary wore weaves too, and she had different
Oh yeah.
variations, different colors. So just
Remember?
like, yeah,
Do you remember her cutting the hole out of that hat and putting the ponytail through it? It was like, what made you think to do that when they did? I think it was the You Remind Me video. And we were looking at that video like, that is so cool. It was just so different because we were wearing the tennis skirts back then. We never thought to throw a little hat on, but cut a hole in it for your ponytail because that was the style back then. That was insane just to see that in a hat. Like it was just so different.
and with beauty and style, they go hand in hand because
Yeah.
again, reinvention for every album, every film. And Brandon, you can attest to this. You have to change up your look. If that producer says, and I had their horror film back in 2021, and the
Okay.
producer looked at me, and I got the role on my birthday, and he was like, Miss Stevie, we want you to have short hair for this role. Brandon, when I told you that broke my heart, I
Oh,
said, wait, what?
the what?
We want you to have short hair for this role. So I said, all right, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right.
That's
So I
right.
came in with this short pixie, and it was very Tony Braxton because Tony was known for her shortcut. If it wasn't
Yes,
Tony,
she
then it was
was.
Halle Berry. And I said, if
Yes.
Tony, Holly, and me alone can do it, I can do it too.
That's
And
right.
I gave that director what he wanted, rocked it. He picked out the whole look, and the project came together beautifully. So
That's
you have to be willing to step out of your norm. To keep in
yeah.
mind, Rihanna Taylor, they can rock short hair as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about being able to switch it up. And as Black women, that's the
Mm-hmm.
versatility. And then
Mm-hmm.
you go through, you see them with longer hair, you see them with medium length hair.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about Mary J. Blige is the fact that yes, she's from Yonkers, she's from New York, she's a New York
Yeah.
girl,
Mm-hmm.
but and she's gonna let you know right off she kept it real. But she had variation, even
She
as she
sure did.
played hair on Power
Mm-hmm.
Monet,
Mm-hmm.
the auburn color hair,
That
the
hair
Met
was
Gala she
pretty.
gave us black.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so used to Mary with her blonde. Real Love was the video that I first saw when I fell in love
Mm-hmm.
with her,
Okay.
and I'm like,
Okay.
who is this chick? She's got her earrings on, she's got her hat
She was
on, she's got everything. Who is
she
she?
was shy. She was so sharp. She
Mm,
still be so sharp. Fly, trend setting. Everything she wears from head to toe. I can remember like her and Little Kim with the blonde. I mean, when they were rocking that blonde, nobody was doing that here in Michigan. You could see older women, they would have maybe the short hair and they would dye their hair blonde, but you didn't see anybody young with that golden hair. And they stuck to it. And to this day, that's still their signature. But when she played what is it? Monet Tejada. That
mm-hmm.
arbor, it is so pretty. It's so gorgeous. And even with the different, she had something I remember. It was a soft wave one time, and I was like, "That's really really pretty." I would have never thought to do that. So when you speak of trend setting with fashion, makeup, and hair, you're right. That's your girl. That's the
Mary J.
go-to.
Blige.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one thing I love about her is her humility. Like she's not afraid to say what she likes and what she would not wear.
Mhm.
And Tim
Mhm.
Wallace, who does Taraji P. Henson, I think touches her hair as well too, and
Okay.
does an amazing job. And when she came, Brandon, she shocked me. She gave me a heart attack almost when I seen her on the red carpet at the Met Gala. I didn't see it in person, but when I seen the video of it, I'm like, Mary got black hair. I'm like, no, I'm so used to her
Who
with her
has some color?
blonde. But again,
Yeah.
that's that's the power of versatility. And as black women, we can switch it up. We don't have to be the same woman. We can give you a different woman.
No.
That's just
No.
like Kim Fields on Living Single. She said, I wore wigs all this time as I
She
was
sure
Regine
did.
Hunter
She sure
because
did.
I'm not about to keep going in with this curling iron and damaging my hair. I'm not about to do that. I'm about to put this cap on and I'm about to put this wig on and I'm going to go. And that's the power of extensions and wigs is that we
It's
are able
true.
to switch it up without damaging our actual hair. Protective
Mhm.
styling. Thank God for that.
Absolutely. I remember women running out getting the bob, Maxine Shaw bob. And women
Yep,
just like when lemonade came out, now they call those the lemonade braids, the one that comes to the side. Isn't that something?
yep.
So when you just say one word, they know exactly what it is. Give me the Maxine Shaw. They get the braid. And they know they only have to come to here. You do the lemonade. They know they gotta braid to come down here. Like it's amazing what one person, what movement one person can do. Isn't that something?
It sure is. And you said with Maxine Shaw, they said Erica said that they used yarn, the yarn braids,
I
and it
think I
was Red
heard that.
Salon in New York. And that
Mhm.
cut, the back was tapered as well too. Was very reminiscent of T-Boz from TLC because she
Right.
had the long shag
Yep.
sides. And she
Yep.
told her stylist, the stylist Marie Davis, who's done TLC's hair, T-Boz, Left Eye, and Chili, has done their hair for years since they first came out.
Okay.
uh, Said that we're going to get sideburns. We're going to do sideburns.
Hmm.
Because when TLC first came out, the cut was a little bit shorter, but then you see when they did Crazy Sexy Cool, they were becoming women and their style changed.
It was
So
beautiful.
that
I
made this,
remember.
the Waterfalls video with
I
the bang, and
remember.
then to see Carrie
Yes,
Hilson redo that
yes,
same look for her music
yeah,
video. I'm like,
yeah.
okay, you on to something here.
Yeah. Yeah, they were getting it. A lot of those styles were they were blueprints for where we are today. The styles are more perfected now, I would say, but back then I just remember when you seen something new on a because music videos was the way that we learned
Oh yeah.
about what was out there, what the trends were. And now it's TV. It really is TV, and that's because there's more black people on TV now. But back then it was just videos. That was it. Or you saw it in a magazine. That was how it went. So and I don't know if people still do this. When you would get your hair done back in the 80s, 90s, or whatnot, it would be magazines everywhere, every table, so that you can pick out which hairstyle you wanted.
Oh, I was about to hop up, girl. I got a collection of Sophisticates. Y'all remember Sophisticates hair, Black Hair magazine? And what was the other one? Hype Hair. Me and Cherry
Yep.
talked about
Yep.
that. And
Yep.
what was the other one? It was another one, Black Braids and Beauty. It was so
Yes.
many.
Yep. Yep.
And you go
Yep.
into a black hair salon, it would be magazines galore laid out on the
Lord.
table. If
Mhm.
not that,
Yep.
at the styling stations as well too. My cousin had a barber and beauty salon, and
Mhm.
he has a place for the women and then a side for the guys as well too. And
Okay.
there's books over here for the guys because guys have to look through to get their hair cut. They like the designs in the side. Men will get the designs and artwork on the side as
Mhm.
well too. Again, it
Mhm.
makes me think of Kid and Play and Big Daddy Kane because they wore the designs cut into the side of their
Yeah.
hair. But for women,
Yeah.
we had Sophisticates black hair. We had hype hair. We had what's
Sure
another
did.
one? Black Braids and Beauty.
Yeah.
Um,
You remember the
Try It
names.
Yourself
Wow.
was another one. Yeah, I
Oh,
collect them and I have to pay a fortune to get them. They're like $50 a piece on
see, but
eBay.
that's how important they are. Yes. Wow. You should post them because that's amazing. That's how important
I'm a
those
do it.
things were. Wow.
I am
Wow.
definitely going to do it. Like I have a collection of them, girl, and I remember bidding people. It's one that's got Aaliyah on the cover, and Aaliyah was a style trendsetter
See.
as well
Oh,
too.
she was bad.
Like the
She was
hair
bad.
over the eye,
Oh, she was
and
bad.
may she rest in grace. She was notorious for her hair, and she Aaliyah did not wear a relaxer. She did not wear a relaxer. Queen
I
Latifah
think she
did,
did.
but
I believe she
it,
did. I
I
believe she.
I don't.
I'm almost sure she did.
I have to check and see, but I know her
Yeah.
stylist Nico used some conditioner and stuff on her hair. I'm like, how does
Okay.
she get her hair so perfect to lay like that over her eye?
I'm
What
almost
is?
sure she did, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh,
Or
I
because
know
you,
Nia Long wore a relaxer. Nia
yeah,
Long was
yeah,
is relaxed for
yeah.
sure. And I'm like, how did they get their hair to be so shiny on the front cover? I'm like, the magic of Hollywood, because reveal all the secrets to us, please. The
We
the
got them
consumers, the
now.
black women that are wanting to know.
No,
We
we
wanted
got
to
it
look
now.
like the girl on the Dark and Lovely box, or
Beautiful.
either the cover of Sophisticates. It was Holly.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
another hair inspiration for me was Janet Jackson when she
yeah.
came out with that cherry red, the
Well, I
velvet
knew you
rope
was gonna
era.
say that. I will never forget it. It was
Oh,
so pretty. I remember that. It was so pretty.
and then she did the tour. She had okay, front pieces were red, and then the back was
Yeah.
black for the velvet rope tour. And I'm
Hmm.
like, Taraji P. Henson just nailed and executed her for
Yeah,
Halloween. Y'all
didn't
have to
she?
go and check it out.
She killed it. She killed it. The short hair. She did the long hair, the makeup. She killed it for Halloween. She killed it. I was like, this is so cool. This is so cool. I like this.
And her products are amazing. So, Brandon, you have to try them. Her
Really?
products are amazing. And I've heard
Oh,
mad
whose
reviews about
products?
Beyonce's products as well, too. TPH Beauty. That's
Oh,
Taraji P.
oh,
Beyonce's is sacred. So I'm hearing a lot of good reviews about Beyonce's and Taraji's. So
okay.
still, you have to try it, girl.
Yeah.
And what I love about Janet is the color variation. For the
Hmm.
Velvet Rope tour, she gave us red, black. She wore the bun with the bang. What I love about Janet also is that when she first came out, the 80s was the big hair.
Oh
And
yeah.
she said I had to put holding spray and
Yeah.
everything. Control. She had to for the
Control.
control
Yeah.
album cover. She put that
Yeah.
band on, and the curls and like
Yes.
the hair just lays
Yeah.
so effortlessly. Then the Janet era, when she became a woman, it
Yeah.
was more so what she called bed hair, where it was
Okay.
just like that messy, wet, and wavy curl. And I know a lot of girls were going out to get that same exact texture hair. And
But
then
it was
Velvet
like
Rope
they could
gave
only
it to
get it through
us.
a Jerry
Yeah.
curl.
And
Okay.
the thing about Jerry curls is the curl activator, where is if it's like that wet and wavy, you could just use some water or some gel or
Right.
something, and that hair will stay in place.
Yeah. But I remember back then we didn't have access to those kind of things. Like you just said, like how do we get this Hollywood look? Hollywood literally was its own planet back then. We had no access to those clothes, the hair, whatever products they were using to make them look certain. We didn't have access to that. Now we're finding out that those were lace fronts all the time, the whole time. That's where lace fronts came from. Hollywood.
Mhm.
Then the
Tyra
clothes.
Banks. When I
What
look
was
at
that?
I'm looking at Tyra on the front cover of Hype Hair, and she has the swoop bang, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, how did she get her hair to lay like that? Like these stylists do not play, and it's all about making sure that you have a great glam team, hair,
Yeah.
makeup,
Yeah.
all of that, and then some.
Yeah.
And these women have that, from Tyra to Janet to
Right.
yes,
Right.
Brandi too, the
Yeah.
braids.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was her thing. So back she made having braids a thing because we were just getting, I'm gonna say, braids that from your cousin with the beads. That's all we were
Hmm.
getting. And then in the 90s, Brandy came with these braids and they were different styles, different widths, different lengths. They were so different. And it was like, okay. But then do you remember the Tizillion trend? And then it was
Oh yeah,
break. Then we found out it was breaking our hair off. I mean, it was crazy. It was really crazy. And it was during that time. But you're right. You're right. We had the braids, we had the weaves. But again, like you stated, when it came to Hollywood, us regular people did not have access to the things that they had. Not at all. Not at all. And I kind of liked it that way, but again, I'm old school. And the reason I liked it that way is because it does set you apart from the type of work that a person is doing. So if I'm an actress or an actor or an entertainer, I should have access to these things versus to how if I'm just a person that works, a everyday job that people see you every day. You just don't have you just live a regular life. Um, Not that you shouldn't have access to it, but it should be in a way where it's kind of like the separation should be there. I
oh yeah.
do think that because I don't know where you live, but I don't live in Detroit, but I'm outside of Detroit. And growing up in Detroit, um, there's this thing now that people say that all Detroiters think that they are famous, and it's true. A lot of us are like that. It's kind of like, what do I got to look up to you for? I'm just as great, but to each his own. That's just me. That's my opinion. To each his own.
And and that's the thing about beauty as well too. Like we're always taking these hairs. We now have it so that you can go to Pinterest. Pinterest is one of my favorite places. I go to
Yeah.
Pinterest,
Yeah.
and they have so many pretty hairstyles, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
who came up with this color combination
Hmm.
and this
Hmm.
hairstyle? And they change it up so much. You're scrolling through, and then they add more pictures each day of different
Yeah.
styles, different makeup looks, different
Yeah.
nails, different all
Yeah.
these things. Whereas back in the day, you could take a picture to your hairstylist, and the stylist would be like, I can't make you look exactly like
Exactly
her,
like
but I
that.
can.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. I remember being disappointed a few times leaving the hair salon back in the day. Like, dang, it ain't come out how I really wanted it to.
And
But
the upkeep of it, having to go home and wear your scarf, and in the morning, first thing coming out, if you got a wrap or relaxer, whatever, you got your relaxer, and then you get your hair wrap, and you'd have to take that comb, that orange wide tooth comb or whatever, and comb it out. and you just pray to God that the hair would stay in place. So beautiful.
Please.
And you have that
I
movement.
learned how to
Yeah.
sleep on my face. I learned how to sleep on my face. So when I woke up, it looked like I left the hairdresser. So I literally be
Sleep pretty.
froze on that pillow sleep. And when I woke up in the morning, that hair was still there.
Like my mom would say, sleep pretty. She
Sleep
doesn't
pretty.
do updos were a thing. If you would
Oh
watch the hair
yeah.
shows, they
Oh
the
yeah.
higher the updo, they'd be up to here and you'd have to
Hmm.
duck to get down in the car. We know what that's like. So my mom was like, I won't ever get anything high. So for me, I've had
Okay.
updos here on the show, and she just does not like high hairstyles. And I'm like, when I look at the Cardi B and Meg video when they recreated those
Oh yeah.
updos, it made
The
me think
sculptures.
Babs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I wore to prom. I had a sculpture ponytail. That bad boy was sculpted to
Yep.
about here. Yeah. That hair was
And you
sharp.
have to make sure that that hair that from the pieces down here, they'd have to stay in point. You'd have to have the
Heck
wrap, everything.
yeah.
We watched the fantasy hair show competitions, and I'm just like, now, okay, I would not wear that actually, like Brandy just said, not in everyday life. You wouldn't actually
Yeah.
wear these things, but they do
Yeah.
it to promote a product, to promote the
Oh
hair
yeah.
or whatever. The fantasy hair show competitions or the weave wars, we remember
Oh,
them.
I'll never
And
forget.
the hair would be massive. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, how she's doing all of this in heels now and she's walking
Right.
on the stage. I've seen live hair shows and the stylists will be cutting and styling and
Yeah.
designing the hair and everything. And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, good luck to you, baby, because that is not for me. I wouldn't wear it every day, but the colors are
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Those were some fun times. Those were the 90s when it came to hair. Those were
Oh,
some fun times. I worked in the shop too. I did nails at that time. So I used to bump into lots of people with talent and it just the differences in what people wore back then versus to what they wear
yeah.
today, it's just so different. It's so different. The mentality is even different. But it's been a really different interesting journey, I should say. Very interesting. Even with this makeup, with they call it beat now. Beat, they get their face beat. I'm like, okay, all right,
Face
okay.
beat, face dusted for the
Oh,
gods. They say all of these things, but for beauty. But and
wow.
even then, you have to make sure you have foundation shade because for black women
Mm.
back in the day, it was only maybe like one or two shades, and we would
Oh,
have to the makeup artist would have to
yeah.
mix. And I remember you mentioned Naomi. I
Fashion
remember
fair.
Naomi. You took the words right out my mouth. She
Fashion
said she
fair.
stole her mother's fashion fair. And we remember the pink compacts and
Oh,
fashion
I'll
fair
never
that you would
forget
go to
it.
the counter and
Yeah.
get. And she said she stole her mother's fashion fair because her mother was a model too. They didn't
Mhm.
really have many shades for the
They
brown girl.
didn't.
And
They
so
did
the
not.
makeup artist would have to mix shades, or you'd either have to come with your makeup prepared already
Yeah.
done because the makeup artist in Paris or wherever would not know how to work on your skin tone.
Absolutely.
And if
That's
they
true.
did your makeup, you'd be lucky enough not to come out looking like Casper
Yeah.
if
It's
you
true.
had your correct foundation shade. But when Rihanna, and we talk about Rihanna, when Rihanna invented Fenty,
And see,
this woman gave us 50 foundation shades for
yeah.
every single skin tone. And then a
Mhm.
lot of other beauty brands. I'm looking at my makeup vanity. What's this one? I think it is Tarte. Tarte, Stay
Okay.
Naked, and so many
Hmm.
others. They create their own spectrum of what foundation shade should be. So
Absolutely.
I'm like, why not make it inclusive for everybody's skin tone?
Mhm.
It's not just what is it for them it's ivory. For us it's deep mocha, it's
Yeah.
ebony wood, all
Yeah.
of these different shades, coconut and this, that, and the third and the other, but every woman's skin tone is different. It's not
Different.
going to be
It's true.
the same.
Yeah.
But Revlon, even if you go to a Revlon, you've been lucky enough, you go into a drugstore, Revlon and who was it, CoverGirl, and there'd be maybe about four or either two foundation shades for the
On the
brown girl.
time.
And I'm just
Yeah.
like, thank God now. we have an array of colors for us because we're not a
Absolutely.
monolith. We're not all the same
Yeah.
skin tone. We're gonna have
Yeah.
one girl that's gonna have warm undertones,
Yeah.
olive undertone, gold
Red.
undertone,
Mm-hmm.
red, and it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna cast differently. And then
It's
when you go
true.
into the light and that lighting comes on, and
Yeah.
you're just like, okay, I look washed out, I look pale. This is
Yeah.
not my
Yeah.
shade.
Because mine is kind of off. I'm like, oh, it's kind of off, but whatever. It's what it is. But
But
again,
no,
too,
it looks flawless on you.
does
You look flawless.
it?
Yes.
I guess I can see it. Thank you. Because it's like I can kind of tell, what's highlighted, what's not, or it makes me look a little whiter. But if it looks good, then great. I'll take it.
You look
I'll take it.
flawless. Like,
Thank
and that's the
you.
thing with us with brown girls. And I've sat with so many black actresses here on my platform, other black women, because for us as black women, it's hard for us to find our shade. You have to make
Oh,
sure that you
yes.
are, they have to make sure that they hiring good makeup artists who know how to work with our skin
Yeah.
tones and
Hmm.
hairstylists who know how to work with our hair. Now,
That's
we
true.
have no problem coming on set or wherever it needs to be with our hair done, with our makeup already done because we already know what it's about. And it's
Right.
been an issue in this business for us.
Yeah.
And we are still fighting the fight for beauty and diversity
Oh,
so that we
yeah.
can have women of color and actors of color. We can't forget our men as well too, because they wear the powder for women. We have to get the eyes, we have to get the
Yeah.
lips, we have to get the
Yeah.
cheeks and everything, and it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
So
That's true. That's very true. That's very true.
absolutely, we've come a long way, y'all. So we
Yeah,
had
we
a
have.
beauty a whole beauty conversation here with Brandy.
We
But
do.
before we let you go, Brandy, because this was so much fun and we got to do this again. We didn't really even get a chance to talk about your projects, but I said we're going to
No,
do something different today. We're going to talk beauty because I check Brandy's page out. I'm like, she's always reinventing herself.
I
And as
do.
an actress in this business, you have to. And who was it? It was Jennifer Lewis saying that reinvention is beauty. And
Yeah.
you have to do it. Taraji P. Henson said, I won't do it if it doesn't scare me. So
Ah,
as an actress, if you're taking on different roles, you have to give a different look. And
yes.
every look is not going to be the same. It's not going to be that
No.
same exact. We're not
No.
a monolith. And that's
No.
the beauty of us is that we're able
Yes.
to switch it up.
Yes.
Yesterday I had golden highlights. Today it's more orange. I
Yeah.
wanted to channel my inner Beyonce on that hype hair cover with the rest of Destiny's Child. Yes,
Okay.
the fair when she had the fairer hair. So,
Yeah.
um, for you, talking about reinvention, Brandon, before we
Mhm.
wrap, what
Mhm.
is next for you, girl?
Um, as far as looks
Projects.
or
What do you have coming up?
projects. All right.
And
So,
beauty trends. What are you looking forward to?
okay. Well, I just lost 55 pounds. So that also helped with the
Okay.
transitioning. Yeah. So that's one thing that I'm really happy about. I didn't know that I was going to get a drastic change in my look, but I like it and I'm happy about it. So, with that, that's one thing within itself. I'm learning how to work with what I have now because that puts me in a different bracket of what I can audition for and what I could possibly land. But right now, I just wrapped on Loose Ends. That's the project where I played the benefactor. That's the character with the white hair, with the split in the middle with the white hair. I just wrapped, gosh, what was that? It was something. What did I do Saturday and Sunday? I can't even remember because I had some back to back. But I have Ash. I don't know if you remember the Olympian Arthur Ashe. This is a play.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So this play is called Ash. Monday we start reading for that. So this is a play actually, and I haven't done a play since college, so it's been a while. But I play his wife's best friend, and so this role is really fun and cute. She's the comedy relief of the story. And then Money Over Boys 2, we should start filming soon. I'm just waiting for a date. That's where I play Miss Shantae, the owner of the hair salon. And I'm trying to think, do I have anything else lined up? There goes the neighborhood, but they're still there. I'm in later episodes, so I'm kind of just sitting on the back burner waiting when they call and say, "Come on, let's go, it's your turn." But that's it. That's it. I am thinking of going ahead and taking that leap and going to mainstream. I did train in New York years ago. And New York is more theater, but I like film. Even though theater it gets you oiled up, you know. But I am debating on LA or New York top of the year. So I'm really making a decision right now. Right now. So that's where I'm at. And another thing that I have been thinking about, because so many of us rely on makeup and hair, and I mean it's just the way it is these days and how people are getting their teeth done. And I'm like, I like my teeth, but they could stand to get some more white to them, you know? So I'm kind of in limbo of if I want to do a really, really nice veneer. I wouldn't do that super bright color. That I wouldn't do that. But I don't know. I'll see how the journey goes when I leave and see what the other places have to offer. But I am thinking about that. And that's a beauty thing. So I'm just indecisive. I'm not decided on that. I haven't decided on, or indecisive. That's the word I wanted. I'm indecisive on if I want to bother my teeth because the thought of shaving them down scares the mess out of me, and I don't want to do. It's
Oh,
too permanent.
yes. And it's a drastic change. And I know a
It's
lot
just,
of people are like, well,
yeah.
I want to ask this one little thing, and I agree with you. It's this one little thing that I want to work on, that I
Hmm.
want to be perfect. And for me, it would be eyelashes. Because I
Oh
try to make sure
yeah.
that they are perfectly placed. And they've got the individual strips. And I'm like, okay, I'm not about to poke my eye
No.
out. My nails are long.
Yeah.
So
Have you
let's not
done?
bother them. They've got them
Have you?
down here. So I mean, and they're beautiful. The
Hmm.
lash inserts, brows are a thing for me as well too. So I'm curious
Okay,
to see how the brows shapes are going to change for beauty trends as well too.
that's a
And
good
what's
one.
next for hair?
Yeah.
What's next for hair? Because hair trends are changing. Like I know you've mentioned the bob cut. They now
Hmm.
have how they have the pixie cut. They now have it, and Tamron Hall is how she's currently
I
wearing her
seen it
hair.
today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. And she would tuck
Yeah.
it behind her
Yep.
ear.
Yep.
And I'm
I
like,
saw
okay,
that.
that's a different trend. So
Yeah.
I would love to see what else is next for hair because hair trends are always changing. Hair
I
colors are always
agree.
changing as
I
well
agree.
too.
Yeah, yeah, because my natural hair is cut into a pixie, and I honestly I want to do that white color, like in the character of the benefactor. I honestly
Okay.
want to do it because now I know that I have to get it steam treated. I didn't know that my hair had been blonde before, and it was long, and I didn't do what I needed to do, and it broke off. So I
Oh,
want to do that white again, but now I just want to make sure my hair doesn't fall out.
we seen what's love got to do with it, ladies. Y'all know. Well, Tina Turner, so I mean, it's always about making sure that your tresses are protected. And to my for my
Yeah.
ladies, I make sure that you are conditioning, doing your treatments as well to getting
Mhm.
that trim. I'm relaxed, so I have to make sure that I
Okay.
get trimmed, get
Yeah.
it conditioned, making sure that everything is intact, moisturized. And my mom, she does a bonnet. For me, I
Okay.
do a satin pillowcase. And what
Yeah.
that does for my ladies out here is that it prevents hair
For
breakage.
breaking.
And it
Yep.
also, those big bonnets that me and Brandi were talking about in our
Hmm.
conversation, those are for what we have, which is
The
like the
long hair.
longer
Yep.
hairstyles. So
Yep.
that's what they're for. Because I didn't know what they were for. I'm like, these things are massive. You know, the chef hats that they wear when they're cooking
Yeah.
in culinary arts. I'm like, these things look just
Like
like the chef
right.
hats. So where am I going to wear this?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So it was so great chatting with you, my sister, and I would love to invite you back for
Of
my
course.
20th season
Oh,
again. I had a
nice.
blast. We got to do it again.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me, Stevie. I enjoy myself. And keep posting them
You
sharp
are
videos. Like Those models, they be sharp. Keep posting.
I sure will, girl. And the sophisticated black hair, because Brandy just
Yes,
said you guys wanted to see the covers. I will post them in my
I
stories
do.
because I have a ton of those books. I have a ton
You
of them.
go.
I just seen
Yes,
one today with Holly on the cover, and I said I got to have this cover. I got to have this issue. It's like
yes.
from 1994. So
Ooh,
yes,
post
this is when
it.
she did Boomerang. This is around when she did Boomerang, I want to say.
Oh,
So
yep.
I'm gonna post it. I'll post those covers that I have.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
y'all stay tuned.
Thank
And
you.
before we let you go, Brandy, any advice that you would give to young black girls on just changing up their look, on experience, on beauty? What advice would you give them?
I would say don't be loud in the beginning. Be very, very demure with your makeup. Be very, very demure with your hair. That is what will give you the core of your look. So once you understand the shape of your eye, the shape of your nose, the shape of your lips, the way you smile, where your cheeks land when you smile, keep it light in the beginning and then you learn how to go heavy if you want to go heavy. So keep it simple. Just do a with your hair, do a nice flat hairdo and do really minimal makeup. Do a liner with a gloss. um, any skin complexion can do a pink. Always do a soft pink and then a mascara. If you have a pencil, in fact, did I bring it? Get yourself a eyebrow pencil, not one that's thick, one that's really, really thin, and learn how to just fill in lightly. So start there. That's what I would say for younger women. Do it light. Don't go heavy. You don't have to do that. And I'm speaking 12, 13, 14, 12 to 17, 18, 19. Keep it light. The louder you go, the older you look, and it won't even fit the type of clothes that you wear. It just the aesthetic just it doesn't go together as much as you might think it does. So you got to play around. You got to play around in your closet because you'll have pieces in there that you can put together. You might wear it with
Yep.
one thing, but no, mix it up because I was so horrible at that. I would just wear the same outfits the same way. And I would be like, I could mix this piece with that piece. And so play around with your clothes, play around with your makeup, but keep your makeup very, very light in the beginning and then you learn how to layer. So that would be my advice when it came to looks. And don't follow trends. Trends are not for everyone. I am not that girl that can have the eyebrow that goes up and down. I love that look, but it doesn't work for me.
Oh, the McDonald's. When she said that, it made me think about someone posted a meme with the
Yeah.
McDonald's
Yeah.
eyebrows, and I'm just like, okay, the days of pencil thin, those really thin eyebrows are over,
Over.
and it's just like how ours look. Thick is more. Thick and bushy and full is more, and you've got the little spoolie where you can after you filled everything, and you can brush those brows, and those brows will lay beautifully in place,
Mhm.
and that's what it's about. Less is more.
Yeah.
Now, if you're
Less
in
is
your
more.
30s, she said from 12 to 19, as you get up in age, that's when you go over the top with
You can,
drama. And when
yeah.
I see somebody that, before we go, is beauty, I think of Angela Bassett and that
Mm-hmm.
smoldering, smoky stare she wears on the red carpet.
Yep.
And I'm just like, her eyes, they're so powerful. They're beautiful.
Yep.
She commands the room. She doesn't do much. The glow, the
That's right.
highlight is perfectly
That's
placed.
it.
Another woman I would have to say is Shirley Lee Ralph. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
what is in the water? What are y'all using? And can y'all bottle that up and give us some, please?
Yeah. Yeah. They nail it every time. I have never seen Angela with a bad look, nor Shirley
Oh,
Ralph. Never. Never. Never miss. They don't miss. So that's what just
and
keep it light. Keep it light. Keep it light. And then as you age, play around with it. Play around with it. You know, watch your features, certain features. In fact, like now the placement of where things go. It used to, what is it? Blush only went here. Now they move it up here. Or I've been seeing it right here. Mm-hmm. 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 Learn your face. Learn your face. Google. books, it's gonna tell you what to do. It's gonna tell, and I'm telling you, even certain haircuts, hairstyles, it will bring the beauty out. It's just I look different all the time because I'm doing different things. Even with the placement of the makeup, the color of the makeup, the shape of the hair. Everything changes my look. Everything. So when you find the look that works for you, the way that you want to look, you stick to it. And that's your look. That's your look.
And to Brandy's point, flip through hairstyle magazines. I do it the old
Mhm.
fashioned way. I flip through a lot of fashion and hair magazines, and I
Absolutely.
go on Pinterest. Pinterest is your best friend, ladies. You can't go wrong. And I know
Hmm.
we use it to decorate our homes and things, but just
Yes.
type in beauty and hair and makeup inspiration,
Everything is
and you'll
there.
find tons of it. And what I love about Pinterest is that they even got it to skin tone. So if you are
Oh.
chocolate girls like me and Brandy, they will
Hmm.
have like the little rectangle, and it'll have like, okay, chocolate, a
I
lighter
didn't know
brown,
that.
this type of brown.
Mm.
Yeah, for makeup inspiration, you just put it in and it will give you women of color who
Okay.
have the same exact similar skin tone and
Okay.
more. And it'll show you about color placement, other foundation brands also. You know how you
Wow.
can go on Ulta and Sephora and they'll match you up? You can find that on there, but you can
I did not
also
know
look
that.
and it'll give you other beauty brands that have the same exact foundation shade as well too. So
Okay.
definitely play around with it, like
Play
Brandy said,
around
play
with it.
around with it because it's an array of brands. And if you, I remember I took my cousin who was just on the show not too long ago. We went into Ulta Beauty for the first time, and
Okay.
Brandy, girl, when I tell you, she was like, "Cuz, where do I start?
For
I've
real.
already been to Ulta with some of my other girlfriends. Where do I start?"
Yeah.
Because there's
Yeah.
so many brands. Like you've got Fenty, you've got Estee Lauder over here,
Oh,
MAC. It's so many, but you can't just stay in one place. You got to go to all of them
on
so you
every
find
row.
what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I have a mixture of I have a mixture of everything. Everything. Juvia's Place, the lip bar. What is this right now? Oh, uh, what is this? Ooh, this one right here. I can't see it. Anastasia, not Anastasia.
Anastasia, Beverly
Anastasia.
Hills. Yes,
She
girl.
bad. She bad. I'm telling you, you just play around, go up and down, up and down, up and down. Each row. Okay, I like this. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try that. Some of these palettes, like this one, I done had this for a couple years because of
And it's been dipped in. Yep.
yeah. But play around. You see how the variations of color. You play around with it. In this shirt, I could pull a few different colors out of this just to match my shirt, and you play around with it. But placement is the key.
And Brandy says placement. So y'all
Hmm.
know this is one of Beyonce's go-to for her Renaissance tour. I'm like, how does Beyonce's makeup stay in place? And I
Hmm.
finally got the secret. So when Brandy said placement, I had to pull out my Patrick Starr's one size setting spray, and that's how mine's last. When I tell you, it says on till dawn,
Really,
mattifying waterproof setting spray. You can go up on the water and you come up, your makeup
it's
will
still there.
still be in
Patrick Star.
place.
Okay, let me pull that up. Yeah, there's
That
so
was
much that
Beyonce's secret.
isn't
Because
that
remember,
something?
it started raining on her. And Brandy, when I tell you, she looked so stunning. It made me think of Diana Ross in Central Park because it was raining. She said, "Oh no, the show gonna go on." How does she do it and her makeup is still in place? It's
Right,
that
right.
Patrick Star. That's what she uses. That is
Okay, I
Beyonce's.
just pulled it up.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
there you
telling y'all.
go.
There you
There you
go,
go.
fashion ball. So now you know. Those are a few of our favorite beauty things. And
Okay.
Brandy, let everyone know where they can check you out, girl. Because again, I'm gonna bring you back. I'm gonna
Okay,
bring you back in my
sure.
100 seats.
So on all platforms, my name is Brandi James. It's either Miss Brandi James or just Brandi James. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything that I'm just not on some of the other ones because to me they're repetitive. But for the most part, you can find me at Miss Brandi James, BrandiJames.
There you go. Y'all make sure y'all follow my girl, and I'm gonna bring Brandy back again. We're gonna dive deeper into her career and, of course, more all things beauty. So y'all
Of
make sure y'all
course.
stay tuned. And joining me tomorrow, we have Leon Washington and Sel. He will be joining me as well too. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Fashion Dolls' this interview will be uploaded on Style by Stevie. So you'll head on over and subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be
All right.
notified when you show. So
Thanks,
Fashion Dolls,
Stevie.
mwah, you too, girl. It was such a pleasure. You are so fabulous. And we got to do this again.
Will do. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Take care, everybody.
Bye bye.